Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Elizabeth from Psychology for Geeks, and today I cannot contain my excitement because I am so excited because I'm not only collaborating with one VTuber, but with three at the same time. So, uh, just whatever I have to say is not really important at this point. Let's hear from them. So on my screen, I have. Uh, Wait a minute, the names that appear on uh on stream, is that the names you go by? Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so on my screen I have Riko first, so you want to go first and introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm Rico Siempre, RN. I am an IRL registered nurse and a VTuber RN educator. I provide nursing and healthcare education on a variety of different platforms. Um, one of which I'll actually be debuting soon on March 15th on 4 p.m. PST at Irium. So it's a VTubing a mobile VTubing platform. Yeah, I'm hoping to bring education there. Yeah, I've done some healthcare and nursing education on Twitch and on YouTube. Um, one of my pride and joys right now is my podcast, Virtual Vital Signs. I use it as a platform to help other creators, audience members, to talk about their chronic illnesses and disabilities and how they're living with it. So I think that's been my pride and joy so far. Yeah.
Oh my god, if I start crying, just ignore me, okay? He's like, this is exactly why I was so excited. Sorry to interrupt like the flow here. But uh like I think part of the reason why like I'm so excited to like talk not only to VTubers, but because I have been telling so part of what Psychology for Geeks does is that we try to encourage other mental health providers to use geek culture um in or whatever people are passionate about in the session. And then so I started talking about VTubers because that's my currently obsession, and everyone's like just like blank eyed, and I was like, but you don't understand how cool this is, and like this is a great opportunity, and then it just people don't understand. So I am so glad you guys are here and be like, see, I told you cool things are happening for cool reasons. um uh yeah, anyway, back to introductions. um I don't know how to say your name.
Me,
Myelin?
Myelin?
Myelin. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. Hi. I'm Myelin Aikman. I am a psychology and anime VTuber. I IRL have my PhD in social psychology, and I teach psychology and statistics at a university. Online, I stream and make videos on YouTube talking about anime, statistics, and psychology. And I'm a member of VTheorem, a group of VTubers who do awesome science and educational content.
Okay. Sai?
Yeah, hello. I'm Psydere. This is gonna sound like deja vu because I am also a psychology. I'm also a psychology streamer. And I also
Sorry.
I also am about to have a PhD in social psychology. And I also make educational content about social psychology. And I'm also a member of Vtherem.
It gets worse than that, too.
It really, really does. If only you'll know what was below the surface.
You know how they say, like, yeah, you can copy my homework, but change it a little bit? I think you forgot the little bit part.
We really did.
We really, really did.
I don't know. Is Rin Penrose still copying your homework, Sai?
Yes.
That
Yes, and I'm
throwdown in
very
the car
angry
park
about
still
it. I'm
happening?
very angry about it.
Oh, should we give context on that?
Well, okay. So I was actually gonna ask because one thing I learned about, VTubers by watching all of them, is that there is a lore, right? So do you guys have a lore as well? Share.
Does Riko have lore?
Oh no, you guys share first.
Oh God.
my, mine's is mine's is breathtaking. I should leave it for last.
Gotcha. I'm a Mothman, and I come from Point Pleasant University. But of course, in Mothman Land, scientists in this world do not respect people from Mothman Land or recognize Point Pleasant University as a regular institution that can publish in journals. So I had to come over here to engage in the scientific community.
Oh, okay. You hopped a whole different dimension world in order to
Yeah.
educate other people. Okay, that is that is amazing and totally something I would have also done because I am just that dirty. Okay. Sai, what's your lore?
Mine is that I was a grad student and I was very, very miserable in academia. um, so then a creature appeared and offered me a contract, and it was like, "Hey, I think I have a way for you to enjoy psychology again." And then I became a magical girl, and now I fight this information on the internet.
Where was this magical creature when I was in school? I would have also loved to sign a contract. I wouldn't have read it. I would have been like, yes, anything.
If anime's taught me anything in recent years, it's that you probably shouldn't sign contracts with creatures promising that you can become a magical girl.
Nope.
Yeah,
That is very
but
true.
the other side of it is grad school, so that just sounds great.
I
It
don't
doesn't
think
matter
Kai's
what it
escaped
comes
grad
with,
school.
right?
I think she's still there.
Yeah, I'm still there. He hasn't held up his side of the bargain yet.
It's okay, Sai. You'll get through this. I know you.
Soon.
All right, so we apparently saved the best for last.
Ah.
So, Riko, what's your lore?
It's literally just me, IRL, just as an anime man. That's it. That's the lore. Everything you see. Okay, no, legit. The scrubs you're seeing, the stethoscope, the badge reel, the cane. I have all of it in real life.
Beautiful.
I use all this in real life. This is literally just me.
I love it.
Easy to remember.
Oh yeah.
That means that your lore is probably far more in depth than ours.
It all started when I was a wee lad.
Okay, well, I have like so many questions and I don't know what to like start with, but well, I told you guys a little bit about how I just completely blamed my brother for because he was like, "Hey, just watch this. It's really funny." That's how it started, right? Like, so he showed me a clip of like my favorite VTuber now, and I was like, "Oh yeah, like she's like me for real, right? Like we're just so similar. We like think the same. Like we just like react the same way, and she's hilarious." And then that VTuber, of course, has VTuber friends. And I was like, oh, yeah, they're also cool. And what's their lore? And then I started asking, and I don't think there is a way out for me anymore.
You're in the hole.
Yeah, so I'm here now. So actually, when I met Riko, I don't know how strongly I came out, but I was like, reach out to me, please, because I would love to talk to you about all these things. I was like, nobody else will talk to me because there's I asked several of my friends who are also mental health providers and also make it geeky, and none of them is like are aware of of course they know streamers and video games and anime and all that stuff, but I'm like, but VTubers though. And then they're like, yeah, no. And I'm like, who do I geek out with? Like, who do I what, like, how do so I'm just very excited about this like this collaboration, and I hope we can do tons more in the future. But how did you guys get started into sort of like the B2B world? Because it's still relatively new, right? Like maybe less than 10 years, if I'm correct.
So you're
Um
asking how we all got in the hole?
Yeah, yeah.
we all
Like
fell
I
down.
want to know how you guys got stuck here. But you guys actually took it like a step further, like a whole different circle of like the VTuber like whole because you
Oh,
guys
God.
made it to like actually being VTubers. I just sort of gave up and I was like, it's too hard, too much tech, I can't.
It's not too late, Elizabeth.
Oh, it's
not too
never
late,
No,
too
don't
late.
say that. Maybe
You
I
can-
would so
You can join us. Join
my
us.
my friends started calling me Dr. Gremlin because on their podcast, since I'm not in charge, I can just let my ADHD out. And she is so funny when she gets mad. So of course I have to tease her all the time. And so she was like, "You're like a little gremlin," and I was just like, "You're like a Dr. Gremlin." And then so this sort of like character behind me sort of like came up. So maybe at one point, I will bring Dr. Gremlin to life. Once somebody figures out, or like, you know what? Once we are able to hire someone, or we have a volunteer that can set up the whole thing, and I can just turn on my computer, click go live, and everything is set up for me because I don't think I can like do
Wow.
anything else.
Doc, you
Everything
gotta
goes
know
through.
how to set up your own stuff too, though. You can't just
No,
rely on
I just
everybody.
You do have to do a little setup every time before you go live, unfortunately.
no. Yeah,
The
so
scuff will exist. It's
that's why I'm here as my fleshy human self because yeah, that's just a lot of work. But how did you guys get stuck in this VTuber world?
Oh God, who wants to go first?
Wait, who was the first one? Who
Oh,
has been
God.
doing it the longest?
Oh God.
It might be me. I'm not sure. Wait, when did I
Really?
start
What's your number? How long have you been doing it for?
let me look. See, this is the embarrassing thing. I've been doing it for a really long time, but very much on and off. Where do I even find that?
Looking through your backlog of social media posts.
I'm just gonna look when I posted my first video using a VTuber avatar. May in 2021.
Ah, wow.
I posted the first video on the channel in May of 2020.
Nice.
Or
Okay,
March of
okay.
2020. Oh my god, I'm coming up on my 5-year anniversary.
Yeah.
That's great. And again, because I have tried once and immediately gave up. Um, 5 years doing this, it's quite an accomplishment. I feel like, even if it was on and off, like you're
It
still
was
here.
very on and off. I think I only posted 2 videos, no, 3 in 24 in 2022. I don't know. I was doing like one every 6 months for a while there.
That sounds legit because of all the stuff that you have to do behind the scenes to be able to make this happen. Okay. Okay, Riko Sai, what are your numbers?
So I want to say I technically started in God, was it last? No, 2 years ago. I want to say 2 years ago. I was streaming on and off with my original PNG tuber. Back then I didn't really like nail down what I really wanted to do as a VTuber. I thought, oh, I just start streaming and stuff, and there you go. But I didn't really have a plan. So technically, I would say I started in 2023, but I went full hog starting late September of last year. Um, and since then, I've been a lot more active. Uh, Although that does kind of coincide with how I did change jobs between then and now. So I've given a bit more free time. I won't say more free time. I'd say a lot less stress. I would say it's about the same amount of. I won't say same amount of stress. Now that I think about it. No. Okay. So, no. Let's just say my previous job, I would be so exhausted from my work that I couldn't do anything VTubing wise. But now with my current job, I actually have a better work-life balance to be able to tackle all of that. So now here I am, and and I've been very happy to be where I'm at right now, like as a burgeoning creator. So yeah, going on only what 6 months? Is it 6 months already? Dang.
That's so cool.
It goes really quickly, doesn't it? Once you get started, like I keep realizing, wait, for me, it's been a year and a half, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, wow, it's gone so quickly. What?
But
Oh wow.
because I follow you guys on Twitch, and then I see when you guys go live, and I'm like, you guys go live often, and then I'm like, how did you guys find the time?
Oh, I
Or
might be.
or is it just like a habit now where you're like, okay, you come home from work, or like it's a whatever day, and then you're like, okay, this is what I'm doing that day.
Um, I think part of it comes down to scheduling, and
Mm.
making sure, like, hey, you want to be able to do this specific thing at the specific time, especially if there's other participants, like today. um,
Yeah.
um, but I think another part of it is that I always try to go into the perception of being a VTuber as something I want to enjoy my free time with. So
Mm.
instead of thinking as like another job, it's more something that I do to unleash um, creativity, or like to unleash whatever. Like, hey, there's this thing I know about healthcare and nursing that I'd like to express here. Why don't you
Mhm.
let me tell you about it? Because I don't get to. Because yeah, I work in the field, but I can't really geek out about the things I know, or the things I learn with my colleagues or with my other coworkers, or or with my patients, because hey, unfortunately, with my position, because I'm a clinic manager, I have to wear so many hats, and I have to work, and I have to focus my attention on so many things. Just being able to share the joy of sharing knowledge, um, that's something I'm able to do as a VTuber, not as a nurse. So it's very nice to be able to do so. So that's why, yeah, it can be a bit of work, but I think the payoff is really well worth it.
It's kind of similar for me as well, to be honest. Although I take a very different approach to scheduling. I do schedule like collabs and events in advance, but everything else, it's just how I feel. I'm like super lucky to have a fairly flexible job. So like if at the end of the day I'm just like I'm gonna, change my hours a little bit so that I can just start stream a bit earlier and then I'm just gonna stream tonight because I feel like it. I can just do that. But yeah, it's kind of the same for me with the with being able to just like talk about stuff that's interesting and that's hopefully educational for people as well. Because I my law about like being done with grad school and then like trying to find something to reinvigorate me is actually like the truth. Like I was feeling very very disillusioned with grad school for a long time. I think everybody has an experience like that if they've gone through grad school.
Okay.
So I kind of started VTubing to try and find the spark for psychology again, and it worked. Like I'm enjoying it again, so it's doing its job.
So okay, so what do you guys do? like as a VTuber, okay, so you guys share information, but like what kind of information? How did you share it? Slash how is it received? Because so I technically the founder of Psychology for Geeks, and I have to do everything, like all the marketing, all the fundraising, all the like planning, and all the behind the work scene, because I am the only one that lives here. Like all my board members are like from all over the US.
Oh
So they're
wow.
not able to to physically be here to do all the stuff that needs to be done. And also they have like, different expertise and whatnot. So I've sort of like noticed that educational content doesn't always do great online. So how did you guys like share and not get sort of like not overwhelmed, but disillusioned with the whole thing of like, I'm talking to the void and no one's listening kind of thing.
Bless the regulars in chat.
Blessed be the regulars.
Blessed be the regulars. I mean,
So true.
I'm mostly doing this for me. Like, I don't care too
Mhm.
much about the numbers. I'm doing it because it gives me an opportunity to yap about what I love.
Mhm.
So, but the regulars really keep you going, and having other people who do the same thing, like having Psy around and the other members of V Theorem, that's when I started uploading more than once every 6 months. So
Because it's having like a community, right? Like even if
Mhm.
no one's listening, at least you're geeking out with someone. At least
Yeah.
someone understands your perspective, right?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I also noticed that I've done a couple of like charity streams where like sort of like, because one thing that I really wanted to do that was on my bucket list, I wanted to stream for 2 hours just to see what it would look like. And then I was like, well, why don't I just make it a charity stream for like my birthday? And then so that was like the first time ever that I did that. And it was like just me by myself. For the most part, I did get an audience because, some of my friends like joined here and there. Um, but yeah, I was just like talking to myself, and every time I stream, I'm like, this is so much fun. But it's so much more fun because then after the first stream, I realize I am boring by myself. But if I have something to talk to, like, it's so much more interesting, and I'm having so much more fun, right? And I also noticed that whenever I was doing sort of like an interview or like a thing with someone else for like the charity stream, people would stay. And then when it was me by myself, everybody would leave. And I was like, okay, I've got the message. It's just so much better with other people around.
It's really hard streaming solo. Sai's really good at it.
Oh yeah.
That's because I've got the autism DLC, and I can just talk about things.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Exactly. It's a
Exactly.
buff. It's a buff. It's a benefit.
Where can we get one of those?
I know, right?
I wish I could
I
tell
mean,
you.
I don't have that, but as someone who's neurotypical, I think for me, I'm trying not to focus on on those numbers. It's more about what I want to create and what I want to bring out to the world, and I want to let my whatever I create stand for itself. So I think that's the important thing. So for me, my main mission, doing what I'm doing as a RN educator, specifically a VTuber one, is if someone can walk away knowing more and learning more and empathizing more and connecting more with the world around them and the people around them, then that's a job well done. I just need to affect one life for things to change, because there's that old adage from the Talmud, you save one life, you save the world entire. So that's what I firmly believe.
Yeah. It is like the one person that's like, every 6 months, someone usually, it's like, I love your content. And you just like, you're like, girl.
But
Uh,
why? Why do you? Why? I'm just some dude.
I know, right? But even if it's just one person, even just one person is enough to keep you going, really.
yeah. So because I've one of the things that I was sort of like very upset at the beginning when I started like posting and stuff on social media. I would talk to my brother, and I was like, but nobody likes my post, no one's coming, like no one's following me. And then he said like, but you do understand that some people like are really shy and they don't like or comment on posts, right? But they still see them. And then I think that's what got me to change sort of like my perspective, because I'm like, oh yeah, there are shy people out there that don't know what to say. And I'm like, but if you are wanting to say something, please say it, because it does mean a whole lot when we
It
read it.
does.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mm.
No, it totally
There's
does.
this thing in VTubing where like part of the audience is going to always be lurkers, which is the people that basically sit with the stream open. So they're part of the numbers of people that are viewing, but they don't really say anything. And I'm not gonna lie, that's me. When I'm watching other people's streams, I'm very much a lurker because I get I don't know, it's weird. I get anxious. It's so strange. I can get in front of a camera and yap, but I can't like sit in someone else's chat and say anything without having an actual anxiety attack.
Oh, wow, that's like a bit of the opposite for me. That's like, why am I on camera? But like when I chat away. Like
It's always nice
it's weird
having
how
you
that
there.
works.
I tend to cast it on like my TV in my bedroom, and I'm usually like playing like video games or just kind of like resting and relaxing. So I just kind of shout at my TV instead, because I was like, then I'll have to open like the stream and like so I was like, I'm just gonna like shout my comment to the TV and hope somebody said something similar so my question gets answered or whatever. Um, okay,
Oh.
so Rico, you share health content,
Yeah.
like as in you talk about like diseases and how to like prevent them, kind of thing.
That can, I mean, that's part of it. The thing is about with the nursing field, it's not just dealing with disease and dealing with and dealing with like the anatomy, physiology, the pathophysiology. It's also dealing with everything that impacts the patient. So, whether it be through mental health, physical health, the social determinants of health, like their environment which they live in, um, and what they identify as, everything everything will and can affect an individual. So I just don't talk about disease processes or how like what my job is as a nurse, but I also make sure to emphasize, hey, this is something that affects everything. Like for example, on when I was talking in my podcast, with another guest of mine, dear friend of mine, Puppy Sensei. She shared her story of how she got her gender affirming care. Um, and thing is, like, we just didn't talk about the surgery itself. We
Hmm.
talked about how she had to live her life, um, like trying to become, to the authentic person that she always wanted to be, up until now. And that's and that's something I feel is very important to share, because that yet because like her physical health affected her mental health and vice versa, and where she lived affected it, how she was raised, the people around her, the environment around her, the location, um, everything influenced how she is right now. So that's important. That's an important thing to remember, is that, like, yeah, I'll talk about, I'm always down to talk about disease, talk about the patho, talk anything about anything like that. But there's more to nursing than just that. It's
Hmm. Hmm.
it's recognizing that everything affects everything. There's always going to be some sort of connection.
Yes, same for mental health. I always have to um mention to my clients when I'm talking to them, I'm like, hey, you only see me for therapy once a week for an hour. You need to have that community, that support outside of this, right? Because there's so many things that are affected. Um, the financial situation, whatever is happening politically, like the whether you are doing hobbies or not, whether your community is like literally on fire, like California was a few weeks ago. That all has an impact on our overall health and well-being. And a lot of the times we just don't pay attention to it because I think just nobody teaches us, how everything is sort of related and how everything sort of like compounds and
Hmm.
snowballs into, burnt out and depression and anxiety and, pain here and a pain, there. Um, so yeah, there's so much more than that. So a quick question though, do you think the the health programs at this point do a relatively okay job or good job, sort of like training and preparing like future health workers
Mm.
about this specific thing?
That is a complicated question. Um, I will say though that we need more younger educators in the field, um, in order to have that connection with the next generation of providers. That's for certain. Not to throw shade at my previous professors and instructors, but some of them are have been coming on in age, and unfortunately, they keep their practice going by making sure they take continuing education, but can they relate to the younger audience? And that's where disconnect is, and that's where a lot of the struggles I see in um people, is that because there's minimal relation. um it's harder to get the point across. Like, I can tell somebody about, oh, you shouldn't be doing this thing, but how will I meet them where they're at?
That's a complaint that I've had to anyone who will listen. Because I'm like, okay, a lot of the times, um, not only are the professors been doing this for a very long time, um, but there is sort of like this disconnect into what is actually possible and happening in the therapy session. Because a lot of the work that I was told in the classroom, a lot of the things, they're like, you can't do that, right? So because a lot of the information that we receive, and please correct me, because one of the things that I did not like about grad school was other research. So since we have people who are more interested in research, please correct me if I'm wrong. But a lot of the things that we do are sort of like in this sort of like very clinical environment, which we never see out in the real world, right? It's not messy. So um I think maybe that's partially what, at least for mental health providers, they have us work, like do practicums at the same times that we are, going to lectures, because that's what's going to give us the, okay, so this is how I can apply this one thing in the real world, or this is how I have to change it or manipulate it, because it's just impossible for me to go from step one to step two because life, you know?
Oh yeah. Life is far far more messier than we'd like it to be.
Mhm.
Definitely, yeah. So, okay, so I psychology as a field is huge, and I will never ever ever be able to know everything about it. So, social psychology is something I don't know very much about. So, can you guys tell us a little bit more about like what it is that you guys are sort of like studying or learning, or like how did you apply that again um, to the IRL world?
So, social psychology is the study of how our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are influenced by the real or imagined presence of others. Um, as far as the type of social psychology that we specifically do, I don't know how much detail we can get it, because that's the other similarity between us. Somehow.
We have literally like the same research in some ways, and it's different in other ways. But like, there's some ways where we were like, huh?
Like, it's such a small area of social psychology too. I don't know how this happened. um well, you said you combat, you're a magical girl who combats misinformation, right? So I think that I'm willing to confirm for certain that my research is related to misinformation.
Mm.
I believe, yeah.
Well, like in terms of like misinformation. Okay, wait. Let's backtrack a little, because I don't want you guys to like give too much away, right, of what you guys do, because we want to keep some a mystery, because people have to go and check you guys out to actually see what you guys are sharing. But so social psychology, how do we typically tend to implement that in the real world, just in general?
Oh, we're more focused on generating information than implementing it a lot of the time, unfortunately. There is more movement towards implementing it, but that tends to lean more into community psychology is
Okay.
more applied. Yeah.
I
All
guess we
right.
have like intervention research as well, though.
Mhm.
I'm thinking about the research that I've done. Some of it has been kind of taking concepts from the lab and then working out like, is there a way that we can use these concepts to develop an intervention? Say, for example, to like reduce people's likelihood of believing misinformation, for example.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
That is a thing. Normally, it's more interdisciplinary, though. At least in my experience, normally you'd bring in a few other people from other fields, or you'd kind of rely on more than just the social psychological literature. You'd kind of have a look at, I don't know, say for example with misinformation, you'd look at like communications research, and you'd look at computer science and how people use social media and things like that. You might
Mhm.
look at a bit of politics, you might look at a bit of rhetoric. Like it's a bit of everything, really. Um, but yeah, more it's like the lab based stuff where we're kind of just making people do weird things and then finding out things from it.
Yeah, a
Poking people
lot
with a
more.
stick. Oh, what would happen if I poke you here? What would happen if I poke you there?
I've never poked them with a stick, but I have poked them with a chair once.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. We've
Wait,
both
how the
done
heck do you
chair
put the
things.
chair?
I haven't poked people with chairs, but I've made people carry chairs around.
So I am actually very interested in sort of like the community, like in building community, because that's what Psychology for Geeks is doing. I sort of like grew up being internally geeky and not sharing it because I noticed how people were, sidelined in society when they talked about Yu-Gi-Oh trading cards. And even though I had them all at home, I also wanted to have friends, and I was very shy, and I just didn't want to be bullied. So I just never talked about any of my things until I think I was in grad school. So I was like a full on adult when I started being like, yeah, I'm a geek. Like I'm a really geeky nerd, and I like going to conventions and all the stuff. And I want everyone else to be just as geeky as me. So one of my goals is to eventually have a mental health or just like wellness sort of like in geek culture convention in my hometown. And then so yesterday we had our first event. Actually, we did Pokemon therapy, so we just drew Pokemon and we talk about self-care, and it was great. And I was trying to bond and be cool with the teenagers, and one of them was like, like we have a handheld device to play games. And I was like, what is it? And they're like, it's a Switch. And I'm like, I'm not that old, I know what a Switch is, I have one at home. And then I was like, hey, did you guys watch anime? And like blank looks. And I was like, no, I have nothing else. I thought this is my only way to connect with like younger generations. And I'm like, anime, video games, fan fiction, VTubers. But like in my community is very small, very rural. So like none of the
Mm.
kiddos knew about this. And I'm like, I need to induct you guys into the world of geeks and nerds, because how else am I supposed to talk to you? I don't know how to talk to normal people that are not geeky. I don't know what to do. So so that's my mission now. And wait, I went off on this run and I totally forgot what we were talking about. Great.
Something about community psychology.
Oh
and
yeah,
how-
community.
Okay,
Yes. Oh, build
building community.
community, safe
Yes.
community spaces. So in all the research that you guys have done, what are like the top 3 things that you wish either professionals or like lay people in the community understood about connection and community?
I have one instantly.
Oh, yeah.
So I've done a fair bit of research into neurodiversity. So that's like I have like a few different research areas, and that's one of them. And one of the things that I wish people knew about is the double empathy problem, which is this basically this idea that I think it was I'm trying to think of who I think it was proposed by Damien Milton. I believe that's the person that came up with it. And it's the idea that when there is an autistic person and a neurotypical person, there's kind of sometimes like a barrier between them. Like they find it difficult to empathize with each other. But
Mm.
neurotypicals can empathize with other neurotypicals fine, and autistic people can empathize with other autistic people fine. So rather than saying that like autism has like an empathy deficit, it's more like it's just calibrated differently. And if we're with people who have the same calibration, there's no problem. But like if we're with people that don't have the same calibration, then it starts to create communication and empathy issues. It's more of a bi-directional process than was originally thought. And I wish that more clinicians in general was aware of it. Because yeah, I've had a few experiences, but because I did used to like work in mental health for a little while, and I had
Mhm.
experiences both like on both ends, you know, it's like both a client and a service provider,
Mhm.
where I would see this happening. And I think it's like such a simple concept, like literally just being aware of it is probably enough to start to break down that barrier. But it's not really, at least in my experience, it doesn't seem to be talked about very much yet.
No, I completely agree. And I am going to start crying again. Okay, so because same, that is one of the problems that I faced all the time. I have become the one person that works with neurodivergent individuals, mainly because I myself are neurodivergent and understand how hard it actually is, right? Because we have interventions, we have research, we have things that we were taught in school. But when it comes to actually like being across screen or across the room from the other person and us being like, well, have you tried not getting distracted, with your ADHD, or have you tried like,
Why can't you
looking
be
at people?
normal?
Yes, yes. And I'm like, you just don't understand how hard it
Ah.
actually is to like get yourself to do certain things, right? Like you intellectually know what is happening, but your body simply would not listen to you. Like
Mhm.
it's so difficult to do certain things. And I have so many scary stories from my clients of some of them saying that their therapist would not allow them to talk about their trauma. And I'm like, that's the whole point of us. Like, why would you not talk
Yo, what the
trauma?
hell?
What?
I have I have so many clients talk about psychiatrist, therapist, anyone that they were like working with in the sort of like the mental health field that told them you're just not trying hard enough. And I'm like, your brain is trying to not like let your OCD tendencies or like your ADHD or whatever it is that you're struggling with like overwhelm you. So when you come home and don't want to do your homework or clean your room, bro, your brain is exhausted because it has been working twice as hard, like trying to prevent these things from happening. And other people don't have to do that. I often talk to adults that went undiagnosed for a very long time. And then I'm like, why are you comparing yourself to someone who didn't have these struggles? Right? And I'm like, the fact that you are here now and made it this far actually means so much more because you have so much more to carry, right? And I could talk about this all day. And I know that there are VTubers who have like this robot, and then so they can go and do IRL stuff. And I wish we had that technology, but we are very, very broke. So if you guys want to make this happen, please go on to our website and make a donation so then we can buy an iPad so we can carry around, because this we have a neurodiversity celebrate community celebration happening. We do need to change the name, in April, and I would love for you guys to like be there and then talk about all these things with people. That would be so cool. Next year, that would be your goal for next year, to make that happen, so you can talk about like, because again, my community is very rural, very small, so I want to provide a space for neurospicy people to be like, hey, we're here, and meet other people that are struggling with the same things, right? Because I think that's part of the problem. A lot of the times we become so isolated because we're so not neurotypical that we end up just blaming ourselves or not understanding who we are, what we do. So I'm hoping that by celebrating these things, it will make it more um accessible and build a community and stuff. Um, so yeah. Next year, you guys, I'll have you guys come over. Each of you guys will get your own iPad. Not a robot yet. You will get a robot volunteer that will walk you guys around. Hopefully, once I meet someone that will take care of the technology, because we talked about me and technology before. But okay, whoa, man, I have so many questions now. I'm like wanting to like really geek out with you guys like individually about like your passion projects. I think this is why I am so addicted to just like interviewing people, and I never have a plan, because I'm like, just talk and tell me about the cool things that you're doing, and I'm always like, that's so cool. And then I like, they're like, you're my peoples now, and I have your contact information now. I know where you guys stream. I know what time you guys stream. So anytime I want to collab, I'm just gonna be like, hey, remember me? Because I would love to do so many more of these. Okay, so I know that VTubers also, regardless of what their main goal for streaming is, or for creating content is, often do fun, entertaining things. So, do you guys play like video games, or do you guys do other things other than sort of like educational content, or not yet?
Oh, of course. Why not have fun?
So what is your favorite like to go activity?
Oh, hold on. Let me just change this up real quick.
Oh, are we getting a different scene?
Hang on.
Ooh.
Oh, no, that's my sad face. Hang on. Hang on. I got this.
Let me show you my favorite activity.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Are we changing outfits? Are we getting
So I would consider this my bard adventure outfit. So when I'm not being a nurse, I'm a self-proclaimed bard, and I go around having adventures. AKA I play video games and I sing. AKA I sing karaoke online. So
That is so cool. Eventually, when I'm not shy and I figure out how to not have Twitch and other platforms like ban me because I'm using copyrighted materials, I would love
oh
to do
no.
that. Yeah,
hit me up. I know how to do it. So
let me
run you through it.
grab my brother so you can tell him, because I would immediately forget everything you just said.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So a nurse by daytime and a bard at night. Okay. Sai, what's your nighttime job as a
She was a
VTuber?
house flipper yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually. Yeah, at my actual house, apparently, like the fire alarm went off.
That too.
was
That
something.
too.
It was distressing. To be honest, I mostly just like yap. I just mostly talk. Yeah, so I do like educational stuff where we read through papers or do lectures or whatever. But we also we just do a lot of talking because I like just talking to the community. I think
Uh-huh.
it's a nice way to kind of get to know people and build the community a bit, and then we sometimes play games. Every now and then I'll like do something completely random, like attempting to draw something on stream. I don't know.
Because I've seen kind of like lurked sometimes at your streams, and I know that you like actually like pull up the research paper and you go through it like section by
I do.
section. So what you do, and I'm like, where were you when I was going through grad school and I had to like analyze papers and stuff? That would have been so helpful.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I do kind of look back and I'm like, why didn't I start sooner? I kind of wish I had, because I feel like that way it's almost like it would have been documenting the process of me learning too. But yeah, the main thing about the papers is that I just really enjoy being able to kind of go through it and like show people the process of reading a paper, because like it is really difficult. Like they're not easy to read, and you
So
can't
much
really
jargon.
right. And like it's really you don't really have any resources to turn to be like, what do I do? Like maybe if you're lucky, you'll have like one lecture in your research methods class about how to read a paper, but most people don't even get that. And like the YouTube videos out there, they kind of tell you what to do, but they don't show you always how to do it. So I'm like, if I just open up a paper and read it on stream, then we're all kind of going through it together. And if people have questions, then I can just answer it as we go.
But then you also got to think about, oh, is this study applicable? And that's where I think Myelin also came in, like with their streams recently about how to figure out statistics, and how she decided to re-traumatize me with statistics.
Yeah, I
Hey,
was like,
you're the one who
"Again,
came
where
in."
were you when I needed this?"
I didn't force you to come to my stream.
I know, but I wanted to support you, Myelin, because I'm your
appreciate-
friend.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
I will bite the bullet.
Thank
I
you for
think
braving that.
I think I was so traumatized by like the other stats that I had to do for like a coursework and also for like my own research that now I'm like, ooh, math. But my my uh my board members, the treasurer, they're like, yeah, but you still need to look at the numbers. And I'm like, but why?
Look
And
at
he's like,
numbers.
because you need to know. So I am forced to do math anyway.
I'm so sorry.
At least not, at least it's easier math. It's more like subtract and add and maybe
Mhm.
divide every now and then, not like all the extra everything that comes with statistics, these imaginary things and potentials, and like you're not allowed like, oh no, like flashback to like a decision tree of like which thing do you use. Oh no. Okay, moving on, different topic. Happier times.
But stats is happy.
No, you know what? I do realize though that I am not the audience for like, research and stuff, but like one of my other board members, they're like, we did a video where we were like trying to like do a tier list of like the different therapeutic theories out there. And then he was like, I have other research to back up. And I was like, I did none of the research. This was supposed to be a fun, like, little video. And he said, like, no, I have other research because I love research. And I'm like, we definitely need people like you. Because there's people like me who are like, we don't need any of that. Unless I'm like, like really interested in something. And then I'm like, wait, how did you like, what's the information out there about like, creating safe spaces or like, recently I tried to do oh, wait a minute. You guys are researchers. Do you guys like research like VTubers and like educational content or like VTubers and whatever? Because I did a brief research a few times and there is nothing.
I'm
Please.
not a
Good.
researcher, FYI, but just saying, I'm out there in the field. But I'm pretty sure Myelin can speak to it.
Yeah. It's up to you guys to carry the whole VTubing community and provide us with research, so I can go to my other like geeky mental health providers and be like, see, VTubers are cool and essential and important. You all need to understand and watch.
There is some research on VTubers, but it's mostly in the context of like parasocial relationships and stuff that I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the one that I've read, it was kind of like either it can be a bad or a good thing depending on who you're watching, or like it can actually be helpful. But it wasn't. Let me put it this way: it wasn't the results I expected. So please, can you make research to make that says that it's really cool and lots of people like it?
I think I have been bouncing around ideas for doing research on VTubers and hurling them at certain people.
Well,
It's like we should work on this together, but no solid progress yet.
If you're needing a little bit of extra help, I am willing to help, because I do not know anything about research. I would not be able to like come up with anything. But if you're like, hey, I need for you to look up some research or for you to find people, I can definitely help with that. So please hit me up.
Taking notes.
And we have a slowly growing actually no, I will say rapidly growing Discord community that is full of other like neurodivergent folk, and a lot of therapists as well, or like mental health providers.
Oh.
So yeah, feel free to pop in there and be like, hey, research opportunity here. Please answer my things. Yeah. That's what
Willing
the Discord is
victims.
for. Yes.
Oh boy.
Because we understand, because we know what it's like. And also, it's actually really important, as much as I say, well, research, blah 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 blah. But it is actually really good, and we wouldn't be able to get many places without it, right?
Mhm.
As much as we need to adapt it into IRL circumstances. Um, so I am having a great fun, and I have so many more questions for you guys, but I know you guys have a life outside of VTubing, and this is your very precious like time for yourselves. And I want to save some of my questions for when I individually talk to you guys later. FYI, I will be hounding you guys for collabs later. Just be prepared. Please don't block me. I have good intentions. Uh, and so before we end, are there any sort of like projects or special things that you guys are planning? um oh, hold on, let me see. It is a March right now, like early March, so I am so excited about this collab that I am gonna push it ahead of all the other editing videos that we are doing. So I'm hoping that by April it will be out and published. So do you guys have anything sort of like April, May, those sort of like months that you would like to let people know?
Hmm.
Oh,
Good question. Let me think on that for a little bit.
I haven't thought that far ahead. I don't even
Same.
know what I'm doing next week. I know what I'm doing next weekend, but
Well, it will be something extremely awesome and cool, so therefore people should be aware.
don't
Right?
get their hopes up.
No, like I said, like there is like an audience for everything, right? And I think that's sort of, again, something that I've learned, because even though I have a very sort of like specific niche, and right now like my current obsession is VTubers, um there are other people that online primarily that I can talk to, and slash my sibling, because he's the one that got me into this. um but there are people who are, like I said, interested in research, interested in statistics, and would love to, like, hang out and geek out with you guys. They just maybe not necessarily know that this is what, something that you guys are doing, or where they can find you. So on that note, where can people find you? Like, how do they know, or how would they know when you're streaming, or if you have a big project coming up?
Am
Nothing.
I going first?
Yeah,
Just
go.
guess.
Okay.
Send some magical juju vibes
All
out
right.
into the universe.
Yeah, I'll go first then. So you can find me in like a whole bunch of social media platforms. Twitter, yes, I will dead name it. Blue Sky, for my more unfiltered nursing opinions. Let's see here. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitch, and you'll find me on Irium, which, if you want to check it out, you can scan the QR code, follow me there. I'll be, like you said, since this video is going to be out in April, I'm
Mhm.
actually I will start, like mentioned before at the beginning, I'll start streaming there regularly starting next Saturday. So, I hope you guys can find me there. It's very cool because there's like almost no latency to the chats, and it's like primarily for like just talking. But I figured it's a good way to get my education out there, and have a little bit of fun while doing it too. But yeah, that's my big thing coming up, and I hope to see y'all on Irium. But you'll still find me on Twitch, on YouTube. I still do a whole lot of scripted content as well. I haven't released the health PSA in a hot minute, but I'm also trying to work on a long form video, scripted video about vaccinations, childhood immunization schedule. Um, it's been on hiatus for a hot minute, so it's gonna get there eventually. I'm a busy guy.
So, if there are any volunteers out there that are willing to help out, please reach out so they can do all the work for you, so you can have time to do these things, because it's so important. And I think so. One of the things that I found out recently, and again, part of the reason why I think that there's so much potential for Psychology Freakies as a nonprofit to eliminate the stigma on mental health and geek culture is because it's a fun thing. And we all tend to remember fun things so much more than a long list of like jargony sort of like materials, or somebody just being sort of like monotone or like super professional about certain things, right? Because remember, but if you're making a joke, if you are sort of like connecting it to something, or you are anime cool, like really cool anime like character, then people are more likely to remember, right? Like the information that's out there. So you guys are doing a lot of like incredible work, which we are very thankful uh for. I mean me specifically. um and I'm sure there's other people as well. Wait, I went off on this rant now. Okay, wait. So I let's go with Sai. Where can people find you if they want to reach out? You want to, check out what you do and learn from all of your like
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Psydere. And I also have a YouTube channel where I sometimes eventually get around to editing and uploading things from streams. And I'm also on all of the social media platforms. To be honest, if you search Psydere, it's not a very heavily used name. Look for the anime girl. It's probably me.
I am currently stalking all of you, and you actually have a website. This is so cool.
Thank you.
Oh, you have thoughts. Nice. Wait, let me follow. Oh, I can't follow on my thing, man. Okay, wait. Okay, focus. All right, cool. So, just everything. Yes, everything is Psydere. Okay, awesome. Uh, wait.
Yeah.
I forgot to pronounce your name again.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Because I want to say it in a different way.
Oh, you can
Myelin?
Myelin.
Myelin. Yeah, that is
Myelin,
not
like the
how I was trying to
myelinated
say it.
sheath on neurons.
Well, it's because in my head, I always read it as myelin. That's why I was like, I know it's not right. I know it's not right.
That's
But in my
right.
is
Isn't
it
that- Am
myelin?
I mishearing that? Myelin? Yeah, I'm Myelin.
Oh.
Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, because in my head, I was like, no, there has to be like another, like maybe it's a different thing. And it's not like, okay, awesome. All right, great. So where can people find you?
Yeah, I am
Slash
on
where can I
YouTube.
stalk
Sorry. I'm on YouTube at Myelin Aikman, and then I also have a Twitter. And yeah, I'm gonna dead name Twitter too. I'm sorry. Yeah, my Twitter is Aikman M. Yep. Mhm. That's all I got.
Cool. Oh, again, I can't follow people on YouTube. Dang it. I'm pretty sure I'm following you though. All right, cool. Well, I already forgot everything you guys just said. So, for all the ADHDs out there, all this information will be on the description, so you guys can just click or copy and paste because I know how it can be. So okay, I wanted to say again, huge thank you for you guys doing this, and especially Riko, because you just came in, and I just have this thing where like I was behind a I was behind a desk when we met, but I feel like I was just kind of looming over and be like, please contact me. Like it was so cool. I'd like to go out with you. So I don't know if that's how it came across to you, but
No, it's cool. I mean, I'm always I want to be able to help other people in different ways and be able to, we're all trying to uplift each other and support each other. So I think it's important that we do so. Not just on the creator side, but on the audience side as well. Because I think what we need to talk about, whether it be through research, whether it be on the field, clinically, I think that needs to be shared. And it's and the more we share our knowledge, the better people are at the end of the day. So yeah, that's why I felt like, oh, you know what? Let's see if we can work together.
Yeah, and again, I'm so glad because I'm pretty sure we exchange cards, and I do that quite often with people I want to collaborate with, and like nobody ever contacts me, but you did, and I was so excited, and I was like, email me right now. Okay. So now I have stalked you all in your social medias, so I will be reaching out and be like, hey, you guys want to do a collab? It'd be so cool. Um, all right, wait, I can continue talking for a very long time. But again, thank you so much for taking time to be here and for pulling a lot of people. And if we do another group collab and other friends, other VTuber friends are interested in joining us, that would be so cool. But before we end today, I know two of you copied each other's homeworks, and you guys were talking about
View theorem?
Ethereum? Yeah. So for those of
Yeah,
us
I'm not a
who
member. I'm just a
still
huge
need,
fan.
like, what is Ethereum, and where do we find it, and how is it spelled?
Don't ask me how it's spelled. I was spelling it wrong for the first 3 months.
Oh, I was gonna say you go. 'Cause you've been in it longer. VTheorem, I think. I'm always afraid I'm gonna misspell it too. I never know if I misspelled it or not until.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yay!
It was terrible. I literally 3 months, the whole time. The others were like, "Oh, I thought you were using the British spelling." There is no British spelling.
Oh no.
Listen. I think at least it was just a spelling thing. But I have like one of my best friends now. I went like 6 months without actually remembering her first name, and like 2 years without knowing
That's
her
such a
last name.
mood.
Oh.
So
Relatable.
it's fine.
That's so relatable.
Yeah.
Hey, bestie.
We will contact each other because it's like her name on social media is different, and that's how like we would communicate. So like in my head she was like Biohazard Leah, and like that's how I refer to her in like my head. But then I was like, but that's not her name though. And then I will have to like scroll back to like previous conversations to when she said her name, and then I will be like, wait, she has her real name on Facebook. And eventually I learned it. I know it now. So it
Well,
only took like 3 years.
in all honesty, I think if me, Myelin, and Psy are ever meet together, we'll probably just be going to call ourselves by our VTuber names
absolutely.
anyway.
Absolutely.
100%.
Oh yeah.
It's so much easier. And I have two friends that are just completely obsessed with making sure that everybody calls me Dr. Gremlin instead of like my actual name. So I met someone for the first time that we were going to be collaborating with, and they were like, "Hi, Dr. Gremlin," and I was like, "Who was it? Who put you up to it?" But yeah, I mean, it is so much easier because I have a really long name just in general, and Dr. Gremlin is just so much more fun and interesting, and people remember. So understandable. Okay, wait. Okay, so wait.
We said
Let's
how
go. Vtubers.
Yes. We said how to spell it, and we didn't say what it is.
Oops.
Yeah. So, what do you guys do there?
So we are a. Oh, sorry.
I knew this would happen. All right, I'm just gonna sigh. I leave it to you.
Okay. Vtubers is a group of science communication VTubers. So there is 5 of us. There is me and Myelin. We both do psychology content. But then there is also Phi the Neutrophil, who does cell and molecular biology. There is Syzygy Altair, who does physics, various different types of physics and engineering and maths and stuff. And then there is Nepenthes VT, who does horticulture and botany and entomology, so plants and bugs, basically. And we're just a little group of independent VTubers that kind of collaborate a lot and strategically plot how to take over the internet and things like that.
can I
cited
start
sources
those
and
meetings? I
references.
can help. I can help you guys. I will help you guys take over the internet. That would be so cool. um, I will spread the gospel of Ethereum
Thank you.
to help you guys out. Um, all right, cool. But there is another one, the Riku you have been mentioning, and once again, I
Mhm.
kind of totally forgot about the name. So what do you guys do there? Also, what's the
Oh,
name again?
are we talking about Iriam?
Yeah,
Oh no, so
and how
that's
do you spell that?
IRIAM. Yeah. So it's actually a mobile VTubing platform that's been in Japan for the past 7 years, and it just recently released here on the United States in November. So it's been very popular over on the other side of the Pacific. Over 3 million downloads already. A lot of VTubers use the platform um, because of don't get me wrong, YouTube and Twitch, TikTok, they're great platforms, but there's always going to be that bit of latency you have with your audience members, and so with Irium, it's almost zero in terms of having chat, and the fact that there's literally almost no setup. You can just use your phone to stream. Makes it far more accessible too for anybody who wants to get into VTubing as well. So I applied to be a founding streamer in February, and I'm going to be one of the founding streamers for the app. So right now it's in closed beta, so that's why I'm considered a founding streamer. Um, because
Wait, 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 wait,
it's
wait,
not
wait, wait.
open. Yes.
With this, if I were to download it for, wait, is
Hmm?
this just for like streamers or like anybody downloads it and we can watch you guys on there?
Yeah, you can download it and you can watch any streamer that's on the platform.
Wait a minute. So if I downloaded this on my phone,
Uh-huh.
I can carry you like a robot?
Kind of, sort of, a little bit. They won't be able to. I mean, other people will be able to chat if they go into the app as well.
Oh wait, but you wouldn't be able to hear people, huh? Through the
That's
app.
the unfortunate part. There are limitations.
No.
Because it's almost like a strictly just chatting platform. If you
Uh-huh.
think about it, like how they have it
Yeah.
on YouTube or Twitch, how they have like just that section where you're
Mm-hmm.
just chatting with your audience members, with your fans, with your community. That's essentially what it is. But because of there's not a whole lot of restrictions that go into the technology side of it. Um, the fact that it's so accessible, just being able to use your phone to stream, makes it much more convenient for anybody who wants to get into VTubing as well. Albeit right now, since the app is still technically in beta, that's why I am one of the founding streamers. You have to apply first, but hey, never if you want to be one, you can always look into it. I would suggest looking into Irium yourself if you want to take a look at it, and all that other jazz. But yeah,
Okay, so
I've
maybe next year the app will have a thing where I can carry you guys and then you can listen to like the people. So then I can have volunteers have you guys carry you around our celebration because you guys are all over the place and I want you guys here.
I'll make sure to mention it to the area management if I ever get
Yes,
the
please, yes, please.
chance next time I have a meeting.
And like I said, we would be very interested in helping you guys out in any way that we can. Because I'm obsessed with VTubers, so I will make time for this.
Well,
All
thanks,
right,
Dr.
cool.
Gremlin.
Don't overwork yourself.
No. This is why I have my sibling. I just push other work. I've been advocating with my board members. I was like, I really need an assistant so they can do all that boring admin work I don't want to do. So then I can do all the fun works I want to do. And so far they say yes, but we don't have a budget for it. So one day, once that happens, then I will have plenty of time for all of this. time, and you guys know where to find all these lovely, awesome, educational and fun VTuber creators online, and you now know about two different platforms, or like one community and one platform where you can find even more VTubers. And I think that's the one thing that I love so much about VTubers is whatever you are interested in, or whatever type of content, or because sometimes it's just there's a VTuber that I just love how their voice, it's very motherly and soothing. And sometimes when I miss my mom, because she is most of the time she's living in Mexico, I just put the VTuber in the background. Makes me feel warm and cozy, like, and sometimes that's all it takes, right? For you to like just have a, anyway, that's why it's so good. I can research you guys, like this is um anyway, so there is a VTuber for everything out there. So if you're interested in more like in oh, you know what? Do you guys ever get like people coming up to you guys and saying, "Hey, what is sort of like your educational journey?" Or like, "I want to do something similar to you and I'm about to like apply to college." Do you guys ever get people asking you questions about that, about your careers? Yeah. Again, this is why I need you guys here. Again, we live in a very I live in a very rural community in the middle of nowhere, California. So think Courage the Cowardly Dog's home. That's essentially what we
Oh
look like.
wow.
Oh man.
And except no ghosts and stuff, hopefully. Or like demons or whatever it is that appeared, aliens. And people here spend their whole life sort of like in this very um rural communities where there are no resources, and everything is like whatever it gets big, or starts becoming like a thing in like big cities, makes it here like 5 years later.
Oh wow.
Right. So, and a lot of people are really like struggling with change. Like I am trying to like do this sort of like just community celebration, and it's really just like we're gonna have crafts, like arts and crafts booths, and like food vendors, and it's just sort of like a fun time. And I was trying to figure out a way to do this, but it has never really been done before. So everyone's sort of like, "Oh, how do we do that? Like, how do like everyone's very nervous about it." And I'm like, it's done like in communities that are like 20 minutes away from us. Oh, I'm Californian, like nobody does that. Like 20 miles from where we live. And they do that all the time, but in our hometown, like that doesn't happen, right? So I was asking the kiddos yesterday at the event. I was like, "What kind of fun events do you guys want to have here?" And nobody responded, because they can't even imagine what the possibilities that are out there, right? That's why I'm so intent on like bringing you guys to like my community, because I can be like, "See, this is something cool, right? And if they could do it, so can you." Not me necessarily, because it's too much technology, but you could do it, you know.
You know
Um,
what? No, hold on. I'm gonna stop you right there because I started with PNGs. I started with just simple images and reacted reacted to my mic, and that's where that's how it all came about. And then it just kind of grew from there. So it's anybody can do it. It's just a
Mhm.
matter of applying yourself and being able to put enough energy and passion into what you want to do and what you want to create.
Yeah, I was just really impatient, and I'm like, "Ain't nobody got time for that. I need to record videos now." So I got used to just doing this, and it's a lot easier. And like, even if like it's messy in the background or whatever, or like I don't really use makeup or whatever. If like I'm really tired, haven't brushed my teeth, and I'm like, "It's okay. This is normal." But focus on what I'm trying to say. Not on how I look. That's what's important. Wait. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was like 20 minutes ago. I was like, "We're gonna end because the time is so precious," and I just kept talking. Okay. You guys have to stop me because I'll be here all day. Okay. Um. Okay. Once again, thank you
Okay.
so much. All the information to the links and socials and all the cool projects that they are doing are going to be in the description below. And please subscribe to all of their channels and socials so you know when they are doing cool things, so you can join. And also subscribe to Psychology for Geeks or YouTube channel because we have cool things happening. And if you have any questions for our lovely VTuber guests today, please write them in the chat because you know they will be coming back because I really want to talk to them and geek out stuff. So they will be back individually, so they have more of a chance to talk more and geek out about the things that they are very, very passionate about. Because there's nothing better than talking to someone who is very passionate about something because their eyes get all shiny and then they just talk and talk and talk, and it's just so happy, and it's all something extremely interesting. Like I think we tend to think that like, oh, nobody cares about this thing. I'm like, no, no, no. Like just the way that you're so passionate about it makes me be interested in it, and I am always like so happy to listen to people talk about the things that they love. This is why I do interviews. Oh, and also like to share information and resources and all that stuff. But for me specifically, this is why I keep doing this. So yeah, subscribe to us. Any comments? If you are also a VTuber that would like to like collaborate with them or with us, like write in the questions in the comments, or DM me. I'm in charge of all the social media, so I will see it, because I would love to do more of this and in the future. And yeah, I don't know what else to say, but don't forget to reframe and re-enchant your life, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for having us.